Thanks. Thank you again, Jordan, Lou, Rick Daly, CoinDesk. It's wonderful to be here. I'm Rachel Wolfson, as Lou said. I'm a senior reporter with CoinTelegraph. I'm super excited to be here with Ido. He is the VP of Business and Strategy at ZenGo.
Got it right. Yeah.
Wonderful. So today we're just going to be chatting about ZenGo, custodial versus non-custodial wallets, Web3 wallets, what all of that means. But I think to start off the conversation, Ido, I'd like to ask you just for a brief introduction to yourself and ZenGo as well.
Sure. So first of all, super excited to be here. It's great people, great vibe, and call me crazy, but I actually like the weather here. I deserve that laugh. All right. So 2 words about ZenGo. So ZenGo is a non-custodial crypto wallet. Now there are tons of crypto wallets out there. So 2 main things that differentiate ZenGo from other wallets. One, and that's a bit of a bold statement, but ZenGo is the most secure Web3 wallet out there. The most secure. It's a bold statement. We'll deep dive into that later. But this is something that is our life mission, and that to protect the assets of us, all of us. And the second thing about ZenGo is we're 100% laser focused about our users. So that doesn't mean only very beautiful UX, and that means also other stuff, like we have 24/7 live customer support with a response time of under 1 minute. It's something that you just don't have, because the space is very much focused about technology, but not about people, and we're laser focused about people. And actually everybody in the management does at least 1 hour of customer support a week, also our CEO, and that's our way of saying there's nothing more important than our users, to understand what's their pain points and what we need to do.
Tell them
to
about
get into the
Ido.
service.
Tell them about your founder. Who's the founder?
Right, yeah.
Because he's a pretty epic guy.
Yeah, so Uriel Ochayon, yeah, he's the founder. He's a very successful guy. He did a couple of things in Web2 before. Also an investor, and founded ZenGo. Went to the B2C world, and it's a very competitive landscape. But yeah, and that's our life mission, to provide the most secure Web3 wallet out there for all of us.
Great, wonderful. So let's dig into this a little bit. First of all, Ido, what does Web3 wallet mean exactly?
Fantastic. Yeah. So we use the word crypto wallet, and we use the word Web3 wallet, and so I'll tell you what's my take on it. So crypto wallet, right? And so you can send, receive, buy, sell, trade, all of the centralized things. But once that you can also connect to decentralized applications, then for me it's a Web3 wallet, and that, by the way, and that really changed the way that wallets are positioned now in this space. And we can dive into that now if you want later. All right, so let's take a step back, like a year and a half ago. So we had non-custodial wallets, and we have exchanges like Binance. And there was really not much of a difference. I mean, you want to buy Bitcoin, you want to hold Bitcoin, and that's essentially what you do with it. And being custodial was a lot easier, because you don't pay network fees, it's very instant, it's very easy to set up, but it's not yours. But I would say a year and a half ago, the main question was, can I buy coffee with my Bitcoin? And then the on-ramp, the off-ramp, and a lot of crypto cards, and that was the main thing. But in the last year, I think that things changed. Now, we had 2 major events. One is DeFi Summer, Aave, Compound, Uniswap, all of those, and we got to $150 billion worth only on Ethereum in DeFi. And the second thing is NFTs. I mean, who heard of NFTs, right? I mean, us a year and a half ago. And that was just 2 insane booms. And those things happen only on-chain. And if you don't own them, it doesn't mean anything. You want to go to the Moonbirds party in NFT NYC. You need to prove that you're an owner. And if you're in a custodial exchange, you just can't do it. So non-custodial wallets actually became something entirely different. And we can talk about it a bit more if you want.
Sure. Also, you mentioned that ZenGo is extremely secure. Can you talk about that a bit more in detail?
Yeah. First of all, I want to ask a question. Did someone here lose a key to his car, his house, the past 5 years ago? Raise your hand. All right, I have one here. I'll admit, I lost one. I think I saw a smile over there. So we get used to I would say a twisted standard that if that happens to you in crypto, it's a death sentence. You lost your key and that's it. Everything you worked for is just evaporated in front of your eyes. And that's something that is just I don't think that we can live with. And ZenGo actually removed that vulnerability. And I'm not a technical guy, but so I'll try to explain it in a very simple way. But it's the technology that we use is called MPC, multi-party computation. Now, essentially, what that does is instead of having 24 words of like a phrase or seed or whatever in order to have your private key, then once the wallet is created, there are two parts that are created in several places. One on the user's cloud, and the second one is in a company servers. And those parts never meet. So essentially, it's a keyless wallet. And so what does that mean to us as users? You can't lose your private key. Nobody can steal your private key. No phishing and nothing of that. So that essentially solves 90% of the problems currently in the space. And MPC, you know, it sounds like something out of this world, but actually it's been around, but only institutionals and big companies enjoyed it. You know, Fireblocks, probably most of you are aware of Fireblocks, so that's what they do. They do MPC, but they allow it, they enable it for large institutions. And us as retail, we don't get that opportunity. So this is something that we bring to this space. So ZenGo is based on MPC, and this is currently the leading technology in security. And also there are a lot of other pain points. So if we talk about DeFi and other stuff, so smart contracts introduced a lot of other problems, and we see every day that things are getting hacked, and somebody lost his apes, and somebody lost his, and we get accustomed to it. But this is something that for us, we see our users and we see other users. And we see, so it doesn't happen to ZenGo users, but for other wallets it happens very often. And I can't disclose all the details, but we're going to have a very major announcement later this month, and we're actually partnering with one of the largest companies in the space, and we're going to present a solution to that. So for ZenGo users, this thing is going to be obsolete. And if you're gonna use that app, and then you get this message of sign this transaction, and you don't know what it means, so you just sign it, and maybe you just gave someone permission to take all your assets. So this is something that is gonna be history in the next couple of months. So we're super excited about this, and we think that we're gonna really change the space with it.
Right, so you make a lot of good points, and you mentioned that it's basically a keyless wallet. That's really interesting. If you could elaborate a bit on what exactly that means, and also explain, is ZenGo geared more towards crypto natives or non-crypto natives, or everyone? Because it seems like this feature may be more geared towards non-crypto natives, but I want to get your opinion on that.
Fantastic. I think it's a very smart point, Rachel. And so ZenGo is very, very simple. So if users want to onboard to crypto, so usually ZenGo is one of the most popular wallets out there. And I didn't mention, but we have more than 500,000 downloads, and we're very fast growing. So we're talking about mass adoption. So ZenGo takes like 30 seconds to set up. It's very easy. The UX is super simple. So you're right. So the non-crypto users or the non-seg users are a large proportion. But because of the security advantages, so we see a big change in the last couple of months, and we see a lot of crypto natives rushing to ZenGo because of the security effects, and because they feel more protected, to be honest, more than hardware wallets and more than others. So right now, we're seeing a big change. So we have that amount of users that are not crypto native, but also a huge proportion of crypto native users that are rushing to ZenGo because of the Web3 security that we have.
When you say keyless wallet, so what exactly does that mean? How does that work?
Yeah. So as I started to say, so when you set up your wallet, so basically instead of one private key that is being produced, so there are two separate parts. One is is produced on your iCloud, or your cloud, or Google Drive as a user, and the second one is on the company servers. Now, when you want to sign a transaction, so what happens, there's a mathematical proof that those parts exist, but they never meet. So think about what that means. That means that basically no one can hack those two. I mean, you can't get possession of those two, and those parts never meet. So any attacker that either wants to extract that private key out of you or the systems that we use is just not possible. So there's no, in that sense, there's no key, one key, ever that is in one place. So you can lose it and it can be stolen. So that's why it's essentially a keyless wallet. There's no one private key ever.
Okay. Now, what other features are unique to ZenGo besides the security and being non-custodial? Because it is, as you say, a Web3 wallet. So I'm just curious to know about other features that may be associated with Web3 wallets, like ZenGo.
Fantastic. So first of all, ZenGo is a super app, and that's because users want simplicity, and they want everything there and very easy and very accessible. So of course, you can send and you can receive, you can buy, you can sell, and we have Alice here from Banksa, one of our partners, on-ramp partners that users can purchase with, and you can also exchange, trade, and also earn interest on your crypto, and it's multi-chain. Other than that, you can also use Wallet Connect and connect to decentralized applications. So you can also buy NFTs, invest in DeFi, and all that stuff, or use Kevin here from Etherscan. It's one of the best products that our users use to see those transactions. So actually you can do, there's an entire suite of things that you can do, and you can do everything in ZenGo.
Great. So Ido, I want to shift the conversation a little bit to talk a little bit about your background, because I think this is interesting. You come from a traditional financial background. You're with the Israeli Ministry of Finance, and now you've switched into the crypto space, the Web3 space. Can you talk a little bit about that transition and why you made that transition?
Yeah, so yeah, it's a bit of a shift. So before ZenGo, I actually spent 7 years in the Ministry of Finance, doing mostly policy, in industry, trade, and also innovation. And I think that it sounds very different, but for me, I would say it's 2 points in the same path. So my end goal, also in the Ministry of Finance, was in the end to allow, citizens, the Israeli citizens in this case, have more options and a better economical life. And we did that lifting transfer barriers and increasing competition, but essentially I look at crypto the same way. So we are providing users more ways to accumulate and to allow payments and so on, and we create competition. The crypto space creates competition to the traditional finance that sometimes it doesn't, the service and the fees and so on. There are a lot of underserved people in this world, and there's a lot of people that are getting screwed by the traditional finance, right? So crypto also provides that. So I do see it as 2 points in the same direction. Having said that, there's also less bright things in crypto, right? There's a lot of scams and whatever, and we allocate a lot of resources to fight scams and to protect our users and other users. So crypto will serve its purpose, the original purpose of allowing more diversity. So.
Got it. Now, because you made the shift from traditional finance to crypto, if anybody else, here attending this panel today is thinking the same, do you have any advice to give them on, how to make that leap?
Yeah. So one thing, Lou mentioned Uriel, our founder, and one thing that he keeps saying is, you can read and you can watch videos all day long, but until you try it, until you actually set up a wallet and you try to buy, and then you try to buy an NFT and so on, you don't understand how it is, and you don't understand the pain points, and you don't understand what you need in order to create a good product that will serve others. So, if I can say something, go ahead and try, do your research, and feel what it is to be a user, and always look from a user perspective, and then you understand everything. You know what's a good product, and what you need in order to be good in this space, and what users really need. So that's my main advice.
Got it. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I've been in the industry since 2017, but you really start to understand once you take that leap, once you buy crypto on your own, once you have it in a wallet, and then you start to really understand it. So, you make a really good point. That's great advice. Going back to ZenGo and the features, can you talk a little bit about what we might see moving forward? I mean, Web3 is quickly advancing, so are there any other features that we might be seeing, as things advance?
So, just a quick recap on where wallets are going. So, currently, if we look at non-custodial wallets, so I made the point earlier that there are different animals now. So basically, in order to participate in Web3, you must have a non-custodial wallet because everything happens on chain. So if you want to own an NFT, if you want to own, if you want to enjoy the benefits of DeFi, so you need a non-custodial wallet. So currently, wallets right now are, I would say, browsers, gateways to that, and other than that, there's also where you store your identity. So this is where I put my card and I put, my, social proofs of my profile picture, and this is where my economy is. So when you look at it, first of all, as something that needs to be super secure. And other than that,
the dog is very excited.
I think that,
I've got a dog who loves crypto also.
that's for sure.
You can find her on Twitter.
That's for sure.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, sure. But other than that, yeah, so I think that the thing that most of the wallets look right now is really security. And I think we're 2 steps ahead of the game, and we're going to be a couple more in the end of this month and the following quarter. So first of all is security, and really enabling users, if you want users to store their identity, like we have, in your phone, my phone, so it needs to be secure, and it needs to allow you to do everything, so this is the path that everybody is going to, and this is the path that we're going to lead in the next quarters.
Right. So, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Why would, or how is ZenGo different, unique, than something like a ledger or a hardware wallet that's also, non-custodial?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So, first of all, just to say, those are great products, but I think there's a bit of a misconception about hardware wallets because I think the dog doesn't like hardware wallets. But
No. Dog is all about ZenGo.
Yeah, or but the thing is, it is safe when you don't transact. But if you use a hardware wallet, right, and you store everything there, but once you connect and you want to transact, then you have the same vulnerabilities as every other wallet, basically. So it is safe sometimes, if you store it in a safe. But once you want to do something with it, it has the same vulnerabilities as all the other non-custodial wallets, such as MetaMask and so on. So, and ZenGo gets you covered, 360. So that's a core differentiator about the security. And I think there's a big misconception about that and a big misunderstanding. But, you follow Twitter and see how many users that have hardware wallets are getting hacked. And you see that it happens because eventually you want to transact, you want to send, you want to receive, so this is a big difference between us and them.
Right, and also you mentioned a good point at the beginning of our conversation, Ido, that ZenGo has 24/7 customer support, and a lot of these hardware wallets don't, obviously. So I think that's a big differentiator as well.
Yeah, so 24/7 live customer support, yeah, it's something that we're very, very much proud of. And I think that people don't understand the importance of it until something goes sour. And then, you want someone to talk to. And you want to understand what's going on, and you want someone to help you. And we're used to this also standard, yeah, that, it's your fault. And if you messed up, then there's nobody to talk to, and it's very brutal out there. So, but what we are about, we're about, we work with our users, and we give them a hand to do everything from the first step and accompany them to the whole wide world. And actually, it's not only 24/7 live customer support. We produce content, videos, blogs, and great educational content, also about how to protect yourself, but also about what you can do out there in the world. So it's trying to provide users everything they need to do well in Web3.
I wanted to open it up to questions from the audience, Ido, but before I do that, I wanted to ask you your thoughts, just in general, on the future of Web3 and wallets. Where do you think we're headed? Do you think we're going to see more competitors to ZenGo, or just what does the future hold, I guess?
Yeah, so first of all, we see a lot of wallets out there and new wallets, but also, I mean, I'm going back to that point of looking at it from a user perspective. I don't think that any of us would like a wallet for any, for every feature that we have. So you have a wallet for Twitter, and you have a wallet for, for DeFi. And so if you have 20 wallets, it's not going to go. So probably there are currently, I would say, 10, up to 10 or 5 or 10 crews that are very good at what they do as a wallet, and it's very hard to produce a very good wallet. So I would reckon that, currently we see a lot of wallets pop out there like mushrooms, but I think that there will be a consolidation, and only the strongest teams will survive, and we're definitely going to be one of them. So that's a bit about ourselves. And when we talk about mass adoption, then basically, I mean, a lot of users that come to crypto, they want an NFT. They don't care about keys. They don't care about everything that we talk about here. They just want a very good service. So they want an NFT, and all right, how do I get it? Oh, I need a wallet. But they expect the same service that we get when we use PayPal or use any other traditional finance. So I think this is where the space is heading, to a very, very high quality service, very high quality security, and that will distinguish, that will drive mass adoption. And I don't think that a lot of teams will be able to do that.
Right. Any final thoughts before I ask the questions, if they have, the audience, if they have any questions?
Yeah, I'll just say that if someone here wants to experience ZenGo, so feel free, you have here the QR code, and I'm going to hang around here for a couple of hours, and try it, download it, find me, show me your QR code, and I'll send you, a quick gift in Bitcoin, so you can try it out, right? So a small gift from me. So feel free, and as I told you, trying is also better than listening to people on stage.
Nice, small gift in Bitcoin. That's super appealing.
Also, you, Rachel. It applies to you as well.
It sounds amazing, obviously. Well, thank you. I'm going to let the audience ask some questions because I'm sure everybody has something. So I saw your hand first. Go ahead.
Hi. Nice to meet you. I'm interested in learning more about your wallet. I'm curious, and my apologies if I kind of came in late and I'm having to repeat something, but I would like to know if ZenGo is a custodial wallet, and if it is or if it isn't, what is your company doing to promote data sovereignty, financial sovereignty for its customers?
So first of all, ZenGo is non-custodial, but it has a unique approach regarding the key management. And it's called MPC security. Essentially, you don't have a key. It's a keyless wallet, and we create 2 parts: one in the server of our company, one in the clouds of the company, and those 2 parts never meet. So you're protected from losing your key, and also from stealing it and phishing and so on. And so this is one thing. And about data, so of course we're GDPR approved, and we keep everything. You only need an email to register to ZenGo, and that's basically all the data that we have on the user. Okay. Thank you.
I was looking at the site for ZenGo, and I saw there's a face scan for the multi-factor authentication. I was curious to see how you'll deal with face scans and how you derive deterministic answers, or at least partially deterministic from a face scan.
Yeah, so
faces change all the time.
Fantastic. So there's 2 parts to your question. Now, the deterministic proof is a bit technical, and I won't get into that, but we can elaborate later. But I didn't mention the factoring. So the way that once you want to restore your account, your wallet, you know, if you switch phones or you delete it or whatever. So with MetaMask, for example, you need to, you know, you have a seed phrase and you hope to God that you didn't miss something because, you know, that will be the end of your life. So in ZenGo, we do something else. So you do a face scan, and it's actually a liveness check. So once you want to restore it, then, you know, it matches your face scan. Then those two parts, the medical proof, they sign the transaction, and this is how your wallet is restored. And I'll just say that being a liveness check, so it's bulletproof. So actually, when ZenGo started, so we put a Bitcoin in a wallet, and it was our founder's face was the key to unlock it. And we said, you know, you want to get it, this is the face, you know, and go and try to get a photo or whatever, and try to get it. And I'm not, it's not there yet because, you know, it's not there because we took it after a year or so, but it wasn't, it can be hacked. So this is it works like magic, by the way. It's very fun. So you just put your face and then, you know, the account is stored. So thank you for raising that question and about the cryptographical proof, so we can talk about it a bit. Okay?
Any other questions? Yes.
So the question is, why is multi-signature is needed? Right. So it's a different kind of solution actually. So by the way, you can think about it as a multi-sig, where ZenGo is one of the owners. Yeah, but we're not gonna do that. The thing that is possible, and actually it also relates to inheritance, which is a huge problem. You can add a secondary face. So by the way, yeah. So this is something. By the way, we're thinking a lot about inheritance problems. It's a huge issue in the space, but yeah, we'll probably touch that a bit later. I agree. Yeah, I'll be happy to talk about that.
You know, I had a quick question. I wanted to actually address it during the conversation, but I'll ask you now. You mentioned interest, that you can earn interest on your assets with ZenGo. Can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, sure. So in ZenGo itself, we have a bank team, centralized finance solution with a company called Nexo. Highly trusted, insured, and so on. So you can earn 8% on your stablecoins, for example. You can earn 4% on your Bitcoin. And you can also connect to example, you can earn 4% on your Bitcoin. And you can also connect to dApps, and you can earn, you know, with others, such as Stakewise, you can earn 6% on staking ETH and so on. So, but what that allows users is also to diversify their portfolio between centralized finance and decentralized finance. And I'll say, you know, of course it's not a financial advice, but this is something that I do. So I diversify where I put my money. So I use also centralized and also use decentralized places because, you know, those kind of high interests also have risks behind them, and diversification is something that is recommended in this space. So yeah, so we have that. It's baked in, but you can also use DeFi if you want with it.
Interesting. Any other questions from the audience? If there's anything you want to know about ZenGo or Web3 wallets, anything at all, don't be shy. Yeah?
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, we are out of time, so thanks everyone for joining us today. It's been a great conversation, Ido. Thank you. And if you guys have any other questions, you can find us after the panel. I'm on Twitter, Rachel Wolf00. And Ido, are you on Twitter?
I am. Yeah. So Ido So, IDO is so. Feel free to find me.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.